are looking at the main base of our Terran player from SciStore Gaming. He is Epic.
Fighting against him is the powerhouse Protoss, the red-colored man in the bottom left side. It is Ting's Neeb. Is that how you say it? Is it, or would you say like Team Ting Neeb, or like Ting's Team Ting Ting? He's
Kozan.
It feels awkward, doesn't it?
All right, how late? Actually, how late is it for you right now? I think you said it's like what, 2 a.m. something like that?
No. Right now it's only, well, it's 11:30, but
okay.
Overall, you know, I'm still on my work kind of sleeping schedule.
Oh, you just got to live on the
So,
just got to live on the PhD sleep schedule. Yeah, the 2 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. kind of life.
It's a common thing that happens to me. If the cast goes longer than like 4 hours, I do tend to, you know, get quicker distracted on my and just go off on a weird tantrum, not tantrum. How do you call it?
Tangent.
Something else. Yeah, tangents. Yeah.
Well, you know what? As long
exactly.
as you take
so
me with
you can
you,
stop me whenever you need to.
well, you know, Kozan, as long as you take me with you on this miraculous journey of dreams, I'll take it. But we should we should probably talk about this game a little bit because Neeb is channeling his Danish compatriot, Danish Protoss compatriot. We have a Max Specs build coming up here.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Reaper here that could come to greet it, but that Reaper going to the other side of the map right now, unknowingly leaving that command center completely exposed to the two zealots about to march in.
Yep, actually Neeb's not even gonna really wait for that second zealot to go on in together, so we will have this command center most likely get delayed. The SCV is trying to do something. One SCV goes down immediately. And where is our Reaper? It's going home. It's not there yet, which means that this command center is delayed for about forever and a day. SCVs have to be pulled to defend this, and there is a Marine, there is a Reaper, which means these zealots eventually will go on down. But how many SCVs die in the exchange? Already 4 have died. One Reaper or one Zealot's not even dead, and we have a Stalker now on the way as well. Stalkers are infinitely microable against pretty much everything that Epic does have. Maybe not the Reaper, but the Marines certainly. And well, the Marines, they can't sit here and fight, right? Because eventually the Zealots will be able to make contact. So one Marine does go down. The Reaper, although it's still alive. And I think as soon as this bunker is done, which it looks like Neeb is not really going to be able to get on top of, well, at that point, the aggression will really be kind of over. And, well, actually, you know what? He's still getting something done with this. As the army is going down, you know, the bunkers are only as useful as the army inside of it. But at the end of the day, it's only 2 Stalkers here. But Neeb is continuing to produce out of them.
Look at the income advantage graph there for a moment. I mean, for like at the 2 or 3 minute mark, that's a lot of extra money coming in there for Neeb for quite a bit of time. Just because Epic decided to pull all the SCVs there and couldn't quite get the engagement going.
And I like this. So Neeb realized that, yeah, there's stuff on the map. Okay, sure, I saw it. So a Stalker will be stunned on home, and it's the wounded one, which means that Neeb can get a lot more done here. Notice actually he's just going to sit on the close side of that of the KD8 charge as well. So he will be able to find his way on into the main base. And this Reaper Hellion really shouldn't get a lot done. There is a shield battery here. And we do have these Stalkers on the other side, and, well, they can just sit behind the middle line. They can sit outside of range of this bunker. And Neeb, he's already up 12 supply. He is up 10 workers, which, yeah, you expect the Protoss to be up workers. Maybe not 10, but look at this. Epic. He says, yeah, you're doing something funky. Time for me to do something funky, too. We're going to have Cloaked Widowmines with Drilling Claws and drops come out here, but I've got bad news for the Psystorm Terran. There's already observers on the map.
There is. They might go to the wrong corners, though. That is a possibility, but knowing Neeb, he's gonna be aware of all of this stuff, and as soon as he realizes that those Widowmines are digging quite quickly into the ground, he'll most likely, well, try to move on back or recall it, whatever is necessary.
Okay, so he will force a repair here, which A, you know, money that you're not spending on Widowmines or whatever. B, dead SCVs, and while he will not break the bunker, that is still a lot more money that he has forced out of Epic in a situation where Epic is already in a pretty terrible economic position. Now, we do have a double Widowmine drop. It's finding its way across the map, and it will be, or Drilling Claws will be done by the time it reaches the natural hero or the main base, wherever it does decide to drop. But again, we will have Observer. Where is the Observer? So Observer in the front of the base here, which means, yeah, it's going to get one shot off. Fine. These Stalkers in the front are just being a real thorn in, I guess, the front of Epic. Maybe not the sides. We do have the drops coming on in here. Neeb is on top of his pulls, kind of. Oh, he's there. Now he's, oh man, honestly, if Epic had let that shot go off, he would have gotten like 4 or 5 workers. And now, well, this unburrow is annoying, especially here with Drilling Claws. But, well, okay.
Yeah, if he goes to do this in the main base now as well.
Ooh, oh.
Oh, there we go. 5 still in total. Bit of a redemption there.
But here's the thing, right? We have these Widow Mines. Okay, there we go. Neeb is aware that there are observers. He's not forgotten about the one in the main either. So 5 total workers will be the extent of things in a game where, again, Neeb kind of could afford to lose that, right? He doesn't want to. He wants to make sure he maintains utmost economic dominance. But in this trade war, well, he certainly has the upper edge.
He also invested into an armory and, of course, the drilling class overall as well. You got to put a tech lab for a little bit on that factory. It's a big investment, and you do expect to get a couple more probes because of it. Looks like were those Hellions?
No, that was another Widowmine drop. Okay,
another Widowmine drop.
Yeah, I was watching the one coming out of the front that got picked off there by Neeb, but you know, a nice job there from Epic. That does in fact equalize the economy. Epic has a couple worker lead here, and considering the fact that, well, he's a Terran, he's got mules, he's pretty happy about. Oh, that is a maybe that's a little bit early there of a pull. Is again, Neeb, he's just forcing a little bit of money. He says, yeah, absolutely, come, prepare, pull off your mineral line. I want to make some money back.
It is about like 40 army supply over the 23, or yeah, it's almost double the army supply here for Neeb. It's getting close to it, and that's normally really not what you want to see in this TVP situation in this state of the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Normally the Terran has a 20 army supply lead, not the other way around. So that's a bit of a problem. Now, we do not have charge. I don't believe we have a Twilight at all. We do, but it hasn't researched anything. But there we go. Blink is now on the way, which means that even as we do have Colossus here, Neeb doesn't really have that much of an aggressive option. He has a posturing option. Sure, he's going to make it very hard for Epic to get out of his base, but once Stim is done, I mean, what exactly is Epic supposed to do here? Or what exactly is Neeb really supposed to do here with this army?
Yeah, much of what the Terran wants to do versus Protoss is also these timing attacks, right? We're seeing a nice one lining up here, most likely with the 1-1 Stim and combat shields kind of gonna finish up around the same time. Widowmines here, more aggression coming out. 2 Widowmine hits and 2 probe killed. Bit rough again there. Great reaction from Neeb though, of course.
Yeah, man, I honestly can't tell whether that was just a really nice split or just some lucky probe paths, because it really was. I mean, generally you see the probes get pulled, you know, it's pretty obvious, but there it was like, yeah, the 2 probes off on the side. And that was, again,
that's enough.
It's just all that you need there. As well, I'm really surprised this gateway's still here. Epic should know where it is. Yep. No, he doesn't actually.
No. I mean, unaware, but you know what? It's going to be found out eventually, right? It'll most likely want to put a base down there, fly a medevac across it at some point.
I mean, at the very least, Game State should tell him that it's there, because, well, it wasn't where he took his 3rd base, and he knows he was max paxed. I mean, you don't have those zealots into your main base that early on, and they don't from Neeb's actual main base. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
But anyway, okay, Neeb here, he's only got a 4 worker lead. He did take a lot of damage from those Burrowed Widowmine drops, and that actually equalizes this game. Now, Epic can't really move out on the map and get anything done. As okay, that's interesting. He decided to get 2 adepts instead of 3, because of course it's 3 adept shots that 1-tap SCVs, not 2. And so not going to get quite as much damage as otherwise would, but hey, still 5 workers do go down here. And, well, already that's going to be really good here for Neeb. But Epic, for his part, he's moving out on the map. He does have 1-1. He has Stim, combat shields, all that fun stuff. Oh, Widowmine drops going on into the natural and the 3rd base. 11 more workers will go on down here. And Epic, he is really starting to punch back in this game.
Yeah, it's a little bit similar to what we saw some Terrans starting to do against the Zergs here, but now versus the Protoss. I think I've seen 1 or 2, maybe some Terran trying this stuff out as well, and sometimes it works, but sometimes it also comes down to you just giving up too much of your supply and trying to do drops and such, and then when the big fight comes, you just don't have the stamina to actually sit there and take the main army fights.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, look at where we stand right now. Yes, Epic cannot really be all that aggressive, although he did when he was on the map. He was able to snipe a disruptor down, which is always going to be nice for him. But he is sitting here. He's going to have a 1 upgrade lead, right? He's going to have 2-2 rather soon. He's got +1 air on the way, enhanced shockwaves on the way. He's got his 4th base on the way here. Yeah, he can't take a fight, but he can certainly take a defensive one, especially as we do have more Vikings on the way. And that means Neeb, well, he's going to take his 4th base. He's going to keep powering on up here. I would like to see him add a second forge with that 4th base. But again, he's taken a lot of economic damage from a really good start here. These Widow Mines have been very good. 30 probes have died. And that means that, yeah, Neeb's not on 70-odd workers. He's not really in that really powerful economic position where he may wish to be. Now, whether you stay on 64 workers, whether you up to 72, whether you up to 80, that's a kind of very much a stylistic thing, and you get you keep kind of less workers in this game where you're just playing the big death ball, right? You're getting stalkers, you're getting Colossus, you're getting disruptors, things like that. It's not just the charge lot. I'm gonna keep throwing stuff at the Terran until they die styles, but still, Neeb here, he has less workers and he does not have mules. He will have a bigger army, a more powerful army at the end of the day, but he has to get there.
Yeah. And it's a tough uphill thing here. Those disruptors already on the front door, of course. How many liberators or anything like that? Yeah, it's still 0. We do have the... Oh, this is a rough spot to fight. Epic here, going down a ramp. Really don't want to see him try to go up a ramp, especially against those disruptors. I suppose we're kind of out now. Oh, no, there's still more disruptor shots. Never mind, there's 5 of them. I thought there were 3. And there we go. The connection's now coming in. They are microing backwards. The continuous threat of those disruptors, of course, as well as the Colossi shooting from afar. So they're kiting further and further away.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at that. I'm like, oh, what a great fight there for Epic. He's got the concave. He is able to snipe down a decent amount of tech there from Neeb. And then he runs into a big, juicy disruptor ball. And Karen Bowling, Neeb threw a strike.
It's like very difficult to avoid them in those places, right? On those ramps, you can't split sideways. You have to run backwards, and then you just got to run back with your entire army. And those Colossi shooting you, then, I mean, they're just going to tick that damage up every single time you make an attempt like that.
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking at here, right, is that there are only 3 Vikings on the map, and there are 3 Colossus. So this is not a good situation. The base will not even go down here, and you know what? Oh, that's a big shot. This army from Epic, oh, well, you know what? This is just a distracting force, as we have... Where'd the damage... Oh, there we go. Widow Mines into the 4th base here. 11 more workers do go down, but this time, there are DTs in the bases. This time, Neeb says, yeah, you're not the only one, Epic, that can get some worker damage done here, as he will start to knock down a lot of SCVs. And yes, only 4 workers die, but look at how much mining time has been lost. 2 bases were pulled off, and it's going to force 2 scans as well.
Yeah, with a big move as the army of Epic also, like, he spent most of his army to try and deal with this, and now the army of Neeb is moving into the 3rd or 4th base here. It's the 4th base, since it's a planetary. 22 SCVs now in total, going down absolutely everywhere. I don't think we have any scans anymore, as Epic, there it is, finally does manage to get rid of those DTs. This is now a very difficult position, a vast difference in supply, but there's still a strong army here for Epic, as long as it doesn't get sandwiched by a couple of disruptor shots. Oh,
like
that's
that,
bad. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, kind of like that. Here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so man, Epic, he worked so hard to fight his way back into this game after how the early game went. He got like, what, 40 odd workers? 41 workers, right? He did such a good job of buying himself the time he needed to come back into this game. But now, well, it's 2-2 versus 2-2. The Protoss army is at 200 total supply. He's up 20 army supply. This planetary is going to get knocked on down. Yeah, disruptors in the front does mean that, well, not all the disruptor shots will land, but the ones that land, they will land hard here. 1 base will go down. And man, Neeb is just trading so much better.
Yeah, it's getting further and further apart in the supply right now. Epic putting up a brave battle here, trying to give it his absolute best and trying to play this out till the end. I mean, if you're looking at what he has, right, he still has a couple of units still. If you're still kind of bouncing back and forth here, staying alive, then you kind of want to see where it's going to lead to. Kind of curious to see what his ideas about Neeb's bases. Okay, he does know about pretty much all of them, so he knows he's in a very dire situation. Let's see if he can get anything done here. Well, those disruptors
This is he's just running into disruptor shots at this point, trying to really cut the distance and maybe see if he can take down some of the tech here, but that's just not giving enough. GG Neeb. Well, Epic made a game out of it, but Neeb, he takes game 1.
Yeah, well played indeed. No upsets here so far. It's unfortunately then not the day of upsets if this of course doesn't happen, but I'm okay with that as well. Neeb, I mean, you gotta hand it to him. That kid is it's really good at StarCraft 2. Puts in a lot of effort, and yeah, well deserved. Another victory right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason. As much as I'm like, yeah, I want to see Epic maybe take a map, maybe take a series, make this group more interesting. Yeah. There's a reason that Neeb has not dropped a single map in this tournament thus far. There's a reason that he has been the king of North America for what, 3-4 years now. Who can touch him? Scarlet. Sometimes. Estrella. Sometimes, but
sometimes.
No one else, not really.
Yeah. This is quite something, isn't it? Just to have a play like that dominant in his own region for that long. It's a bit, yeah. It's pretty cool. And then outside of it, I don't think he ever tried to go to GSL or something like that, right?
No, he did. Neeb, yeah, he absolutely. He made the round of 4 of the GSL in 2017, 2018.
You know all this stuff, don't you? It's a miracle somehow. All stored up in that little pretty head, yeah.
And remember, on top of that, right, he won the GSL Super Tournament. He was the first foreigner to win a tournament in Korea since Kerr, back in like '98. So I mean, Neeb, not only has he been, you know, the most dominant North American player that we've had. I mean, Scarlet, maybe she had a candle to that before Neeb really came along, but really she's the only one. Even as we do have Astoria popping up now. But yeah, Neeb, he's been the king of North America for a reason. And speak of the king, spawning here in the upper right, in the red here on Beckett of all maps. For Ting, he is Neeb.
And then his opponent in the blue. A bit of a difficult situation here. Has to win 2 games against this opponent. It's the Terran player from System Gaming, Epic.
So, you know, if Epic's gonna win a map, it's gotta be on Beckett, right? I mean, Beckett is such a good map for Terrans, with the siege tank positions, with how good 2-base pushes here on this map. If Epic can find the spot, it's going to be very difficult indeed for Neeb to really fight back, as we do have an eBay block going on in here. But it's got, oh yeah, Neeb saw this. Notice he went for the pylon gate scout, so he will have that, and he will see that. Oh yes, there's an eBay here, so it's not going to get nearly as juicy as we have seen elsewhere. And yeah, Epic, he does have, actually, we're going to see something rather interesting here from Epic, I think, because he did shell out for that second supply depot early. He says, look, you don't get to see into my main base here, and normally, even as useful as a metagame that may be, normally that means we see something. We might see one base like Cloaked Widowmine drops. Certainly it's going to be a 1-1 something into a third base, into a natural, into a starport, as he does have that second gas on the way. So I think it's going to be 1-1 into a natural here, just a little bit more tech-heavy aggression in the early game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he's going to try to combine. You think he's going to try to just do some sort of a drops with this, or would you say that is, you know, maybe some sort of a push potential as well?
It very much depends on what he wants to do. I mean, we saw him get a lot of work done with those Widowmines in game number 1. That really brought him back into that game. But what I'm thinking here, right? So when you go 1-1 on the high ground, you get a second gas. Normally, it means it's Barracks Factory Command Center, but not this game. We have, I want to say Cloaked Widowmine drops once again. I mean, there's a chance this is Hellbats, but I mean,
I want to see the Thor push. I want to see it happen again.
Oh yeah,
I love those Thor pushes.
Who was it that did that most recently?
I don't know what it was most recently. It was some Korean Terran that started doing it, wasn't it?
Was it Bunny?
I think so, yeah. I think it was Bunny.
No, Bunny had the 2 racks built on Romanticide where you mined out the minerals. I don't think
no,
he did
I think this was Bunny too. I think, but at least I think it was Bunny, the first player I saw do it in like a pro match, but maybe somebody else did it somewhere else, right? Maybe, but that's hard to say. A lot of StarCraft 2 happening.
And apologies, by the way, Kozan, it was not the Super Tournament. It was the Kespa Cup. Those are, for some reason, those are like synonymous in my mind. But anyways, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Still, first foreigner
It's
to go.
all right. Very impressive.
Oh, man, this Adept, it's going to get 2 kills, and it's going to scout that there's an armory here on this one base. So Neeb knows exactly what's happening. Now, he can't respond to it just yet. We don't have the Robo done, but he's going to know, A, I need to build observers when that Robo is out, and B, I need to keep my observers at home. Need to make sure that I do not die to this, because again, Neeb did not get nearly the amount of damage done in game number 2 that he did in game number 1. I mean, he got 2 SCVs, which is nice, but this was not the heavily delayed game that Epic had to play. That being said, I do like this from Epic, kind of realizing, well, he got a lot done with this Drilling Claw, Burrowed, Cloaked Widowmine push, or drops in game number 1, so why not try it again? Well, Neeb, he looks like a little bit better prepared for it this time.
Yeah, has a pretty good setup. 3 Stalkers ready to try and target things down, but those Widowmines, they burrow quickly already without the Drilling Claws even activated. Nice retargeting as well. Okay, let's go for the 2 overall.
Wait, do we? Okay, we did have an observer get made, but kind of an imperfect split there from Neeb. He realistically should have only lost 2, but he kept his workers paired. Even with the retargeting, he did have room to, at the very least, split off the 2 workers that were paired, right? So make sure we only lost 3 instead of 4. So Epic getting damaged, but granted, is it the damage he was looking for?
You think maybe he maybe kept like 2 pairs, maybe in hope, like, all right, if he just goes for the 2 quicker, I'll be able to return to mining quicker or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Only 3 there.
Yeah. This is starting to get what it needs. It's not there yet, but I mean, Neeb, he's only up 2 workers. That being said, of course, we have an Immortal, we have a Depth, we have a lot of stuff here on the other side of the map. Now, this Widowmine is going to go down and actually do a lot of damage here, but that's really all Epic's got. Does he lose the medevac as well? And Kozan, I think this is it.
Short and sweet. I mean, apparently you do need stuff at your own base as well. Apparently, sometimes when, you know, especially when there's like a big Protoss death ball coming your way. I say big Protoss death ball. In this time period of the games, this is the big Protoss death ball, really.
Yeah, you gotta love that killer instinct there for Neeb. He's like, yeah, there's a reason people don't do this.